Scarfo.
I'm recording. All right, so we're gonna get started. So basically, could you just introduce yourself and state your name, your title, and the company that you work for?
Yes, hello. I'm Denise Klein, and I'm the Chief Accounting Officer for Connor Strong and Buccalo.
Awesome. And your relationship is you're my mother. So your relationship to me.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions about management tactics that you used for your job, and they're pretty straightforward, and you can go into as much detail as you'd like. So the first question is, how often do you meet with employees to talk about their performance?
So our company, guided by our Human Resources Department, requires us to perform an IDP, individual development plan, twice a year. They are done in around the June timeframe and in the December timeframe. The December timeframe really drives in conjunction with that. If people are eligible for promotions, it would be evaluated at that time. We do merit
What is
increases.
the what does this meeting entail, or this review check, this biannual check?
So we use IDP for our HRIS system, Human Resource Information System. So we have a software that guides us through. It keeps track if people haven't done their performance reviews, where they are with it, if they're late, if they're behind, if they're signed, if they're turned in. And really, it's a template that helps you prepare goals, and then it helps you track the goals, and it makes you give SMART goals, so specific, measurable, attainable, with a time frame. So we set goals and then we evaluate those goals and adjust the goals as needed. And the second part of that, people, we may give merit increases. There's maybe a bonus, promotion.
Based on what? When you do the performance appraisal, so you're checking back in. You check in with the employee twice a year, and so you're setting goals for them in that during that meeting, and then also checking on how they've improved or what they need to work on.
Yeah, so there's the goal setting, and then we have different attributes that the company has determined, and how well they're rated in those attributes, from meeting expectations, exceeding expectations, or not meeting expectations.
Okay, so you don't do you create any expectations or like performance goals for when you're doing the like you do you meet with the people like in person, or you have the
Yeah.
software that's in place and then it's kind of like more virtual?
We do meet in person. The employee fills their assessments out first because although we like it to be collaborative, we really like them to take a lot of the initiative. So then the manager can reflect and help them design, but it's definitely a strong two-way process. We don't want it to be the manager just talking and explaining things. It should come both from both directions.
So the virtual aspect is 2 times a year, and then you can meet with them in person however much you want, or is there
Yeah.
like a time frame of how frequently you meet with your employees and the people you're managing, or is it just random? Like have this done, like this is a goal, or the goal is like more broad because you're only doing the virtual like performance appraisal twice a year, I guess. So, but you're saying there's like more intermittent performance appraisals where you're like checking in more frequently.
Yes, I would say definitely that is ongoing. People generally do know where they stand. There really shouldn't be any surprises in those 6-month reviews. I mean, we've had people that have to go on a performance plan because they're not performing. So we would not wait for the 6-month interval for that to happen in order to, start to get somebody on a more formal plan. And sometimes those plans end in terminations, and sometimes those plans result in better performance.
So you'd say like if someone is like not meeting expectations, you would meet with them before you would fire them, right? Like you wouldn't just fire them on the spot. You would try to check in and see if they can improve at all.
Absolutely. I mean, we want to see the employees successful, and maybe they just don't have the tools that they need. So we try to identify why it is that they're not performing well. Is it specific skills, or is it more um, just different things maybe where they're just, is it attitude based or is it skills based? And we also have that process because we want to protect the company. So if we do have everything needs to be documented, we need to give them chances to improve. So if there was a termination, that HR is involved and that we did everything in accordance what we think will protect the company
Yeah.
from from
So you
litigation.
document everything? Like is everything documented on each like performance appraisal, like the two performance appraisals that you, or like the virtual performance appraisals that you do? Is that where everything's documented, or you would have more documentation like for those like meetings that are closer together?
If somebody needs improvement, those would be outside of the performance plan. But if someone is having an issue with their performance, one of the questions, if a manager comes to me, I might say, well, was their performance appraisal accurate? Because you don't want to give somebody a good performance review if it's not accurate and then put them on an individual plan. So we
Yeah.
have to be very careful that the assessments are accurate for
Hmm.
liability of the company, really, if there's a wrongful termination.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so everything is documented just because of the liabilities associated with like wrongful termination.
Yes.
Awesome. And you answered all most of my questions, but there are some extra questions that I could ask you. So, what do you spend like most of your time doing as a manager, or like when you're meeting with people? I mean, I guess we kind of already went over most of that.
Sure. Well, the one
Uh,
thing I would definitely say, in my experience, is I think it starts at the very beginning of making sure you hire the right people that you think are going to fit into the culture. That as much as you may be excited about a candidate, we want those candidates to be excited to work in our organization. And sometimes there's just great people out there, but we may not even be the right fit for that
yeah.
individual. So if you can get it right at the beginning and you're good at reading resumes and interviewing people, that's really off to the right start, and you get a win-win result.
Would you say that a person or a potential candidate that you might hire, what do you think that it's important that they fit into the culture, or do you think it's equally as important that they fit into the culture and then like they also have technical skills? Do you think like technical skills and fitting into the culture are both equally important? Do you think one is more important than the other?
I think for recent college graduates, the cultures are very important because they still have to develop a lot of their technical skills. But if
Hmm.
they have the baseline and the desire to learn, so it could
Hmm.
be different for different phases of,
Hmm.
of someone's career, even.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So younger
culture,
people, you think that culture would be more important just because they have more room to learn.
yes.
Okay, awesome. What is the most challenging part of your job?
I think that we're just expected to do a lot of things, especially in the accounting and finance role. We have a lot of monthly deliverables, we have quarterly deliverables, we have year end, we're doing strategy for the budget. It's just wearing a lot of different hats and having a lot of expectations thrown at one time. And the AI stuff is real. We are evaluating new technologies, but um, and new softwares to be more efficient, but we really don't have any, it's going to save time, but initially it's going to take us a lot more time. So we have the standard deliverables, but we have to fit in these extra projects to identify which software we would like to use and implement to save time. But initially, it's not saving time. We have to make time to get there.
Mm. And then have you like specifically met with an underperformer that you were managing and like talked to them, talked to them to try and get them back on track? Could you explain that or that experience or how it went?
Sure. I mean, we had more of a junior accountant probably in the past 2 years. It did result in a termination. We were
Did you
disappointed.
meet with him or did you like what did you do to get try and help him? Like you because you didn't fire him right away, like you said you wouldn't do that, but like,
Of
what are
course
some
not.
things that you did to try and help him
So
understand the culture
additional,
and stuff?
sure. So definitely some additional training, writing up his documenting things, what did go wrong, asking him to what he was writing up what he did for the week, what his achievements were, what things he still wanted to work on. We gave it about 6 months, and in the beginning, it was probably seemed a little less important to him. He had the desire, but really he didn't have the technical skills. And I hope now he found a job that might fit his skills more in the professional world. So long term, it was better. Short term, it was disappointing.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate all the information that you gave me and it helped me understand more about how to be a good manager and how to make certain decisions related to hiring people and just staying organized in a company. So thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, end the recording.